Too many times we allow yesterday's troubles to turn into today's struggles. We allow yesterday's worries to turn into today's stress.
Instead of the path of least resistance, I started choosing the path of most resistance to prepare myself for the journey that was coming my way.
I wanted to be one of the 1%ers, not the 99%. We live in a world that we want to be as comfortable as we can. And we wonder why we have no growth. We wonder why when the smallest thing in our life gets difficult, we wonder why we cower and we run away. Our whole life is set up in the path of least resistance. We don't want to suffer. We don't want to feel discomfort. So the whole time we're living our lives in a very comfortable area. There's no growth in that. I got real with myself. And I said, this might be exactly what I need. The darkness is exactly what I need. You have to live in your own world. You can't judge yourself off of the so-called competition that we have made up in our mind. The things that how people look, how people act, how smart someone is. This is a race that you run completely alone.
Too many of us are too good, at carrying the things from our past into our present. And we live our whole entire life in stress, our whole entire life in worry. And we don't use our one superpower that we have.
When you get in your own way, that's what self-doubt is. The fastest Band-Aid ripped off remedy to fixing this terrible situation is to do the thing you're afraid to do. Do it. It's not about feeling confident about going into the situation. It's not about knowing that it's going to work out. It's not about having the most detailed plan for how this thing will happen. It's about doing it.
I realized I had one life to live, and I have to live it. There's not two lives, there's one life. And all these things started happening to me. Everything flipped. What am I going to do today to change what I see in this mirror? That internal, it starts to build a voice in you that doesn't allow you to sleep in, doesn't allow you to take days off when you know that you're behind. It just keeps you in check throughout everything you're doing in life because it's not going to allow you to fail. I had to use this as the power that now fuels. A lot of us don't know of a whole nother world that exists. It's on the other side of suffering. Once you break these barriers that you have made for yourself, like the mind is the most powerful thing in the world. Anybody that can accomplish anything that is hard, the only separator is that they really want to be there. There's some people that get inspired, and that inspiration moves them to try to do something. But the inspiration is very high right now in this nice environment. We're in a nice environment. The ocean's out there. I'm talking to you. If I want to go to the fucking refrigerator and get something to drink, eat, I can. I watch a movie about some badasses, you're inspired. But the second you're not in this environment and you're actually doing what inspired you, that suck factor is now real. You're now there. And only those people who have been there a million times in their minds and have lived in that water and have suffered a million times and realize my legs may break, my knee may break, my bones will hurt. I will be the coldest I've been in my life. I will be miserable.
Courage. Courage is what you will experience and what you will grow when the doubt is there, but you do it anyway. So your problem isn't doubt. Your problem is courage. Doubt is going to be there. But doubt gets out of the way when you express courage.
But also to remind you, like everything you're going through is preparing you. I want to remind you of that.
Like everything that you're going through is preparing you for something greater, right? Everything that you went through, you made it through because you're here. You made it through. And the things that you made it through is preparing you for what's meant for you. Everything that you went through, it made it through. I'm sure you can think right now, all the times when you felt like, man, my life is over, my story is done. But you made it through it. Everything that you went through and made it through is preparing you, was preparing you for what's meant for you.
And so what happens is we very often reinforce things when we put things in the negative, right? I can't get apart. I can't get apart. Can't get apart. Or I can't do this versus I'm going to keep doing this.
Great ideas are never going to interrupt you. They have to be pursued. And if you don't pursue them, you're going to get what everybody else has, which is all this fear, all this uncertainty, all this stuff that won't work, because everybody's focused on what won't work, what can't happen. Why? Because they're afraid. They're afraid to fail. They're afraid to try and feel like they're not enough. So you got to stand guard of that mind by feeding your mind. You know, Jim Rohn used to say to me, success leaves clues. If you want things to get better, you got to get better. If you want things to change, you got to change. But you got to do it deliberately and consciously.
It's the same thing for you. If you focus on the obstacles, all you will see is obstacles. It's your choice how you choose to perceive your own career. It's literally perspective.
If you watch a great movie, if you read a great book, you know, the size and the power of the hero, how much you become as a hero is defined by how tough an obstacle you face. How difficult is the villain, the opponent?
And it becomes more and more haunting. And the more haunting it becomes, the more it doesn't allow you just to live your life. Eat those donuts, not work out, live in these mediocre, working these mediocre jobs with mediocre money, living in a mediocre house. It's saying you're better than this. It's gonna take a lot of damn work, a lot of hard work. And that's what happened to me over a period of time. That voice that haunted me got louder and louder and louder. Before I knew it, I couldn't sleep. And I had to start conquering all these things just to be at peace with myself.
Not without courage, because if you don't have it, sooner or later you'll stop and say, the threat is too much, the difficulty is too high, the challenge is too great. There was someone before me. Someone found the path. Someone made the road before me. And I have the responsibility of making the road for someone who is yet to come.
Listen to me, many of you right now, life's got you up against the rope, and you gotta do me a favor. Like, you can't give up, you can't give in. Life, listen to me, if it was easy, everybody would do it. And if life's got you backed up, I need you to do what Buster Douglas did. Buster Douglas started fighting back.
The things you know you're supposed to do them. And be as strong as you can, mentally, physically, and emotionally, for yourself, for your team, for your family. Hold the line and be strong.
He said, I know you knocked out 30 other people before me, but I won't be the 31st. You gotta tell life, I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you ain't dealt with me. You gotta tell bankruptcy. You gotta tell divorce. You gotta tell sickness. I don't know who you've been dealing with, but you come up against the wrong one this time.
This is what we call grinding in silence.